Welcome to the MSAE webinar and thank you for joining us today. Our program is going to include the following: an introduction of Mr. Sunny Chi, the President of MSAE and the General Manager of the National Heart Association of Malaysia. He will be talking to us about MSAE, their plans and objectives. Thereafter, I will provide a short presentation on how the Centre is adapting to the new normal. I will then introduce Mr. Edward Lim, the Sales Manager Conventions from the Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, and he will share some exciting information about the Meet in Malaysia program. Thereafter, I will introduce Dr. Lydia, who is the MSAE Vice President, and who will be sharing insights on the MSA survey conducted in August on the impact of COVID-19 on associations in Malaysia. We will end our session with the some Q&As, and of course invite our virtual audience to participate. Sunny, welcome to the panel. We are so delighted to have you with us today and to hear more about MSAE. Sunny is a founding member of MSAE, having served as a committee member and then secretary. He has been working in associations for 8 years now as General Manager of the National Heart Association of Malaysia. A warm welcome, Sunny, and over to you.
Thank you, Angie. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen here and all who are joining us virtually. I'm very happy to welcome you to the first webinar organized by MSAE entitled Associations Adopting the New Normal, Challenges and Opportunities. We are here streaming live from the new virtual studio from KLCC Convention Center. And many thanks to MySAP for supporting and sponsoring this webinar. So to kick off the program, let me start off by sharing a bit about MSAE. The Malaysian Society of Association Executives, MSAE, was established in 2017 to serve the Malaysian association professionals. We can all agree that associations is the vital cog in transformation of civil society and nation building. MSAE was developed to help association professionals, our members, by enhancing skills, personal development, and professionalism. MSAE members come from various associations and individual membership societies that represent a broad sector of the economy and varied professions. MSAE's vision is to be recognized as the leading association in pursuit of excellence in managing associations, with the mission statement to advance the stature and professionalism of managing associations through advocacy, education, and advisory services. To delve a bit deeper, MSAE's goals are, firstly, to improve and promote professionalism in managing associations. 2, to provide networking opportunities through multiple activities and at various levels. 3, to conduct education and training in many aspects of association management. 4, to establish MSAE as an information resource in association management. And finally, 5, to engage with relevant stakeholders for our members' benefits. Let me introduce you to our council. We have our Vice President, Dr. Lydia, our Secretary, Encik Rosman, Assistant Secretary, Ms. Evelyn Low, our Treasurer, Mr. James Silva, our immediate past President, Dato Dr. Raj, and the council members include Professor Nazira, Ms. Evelyn Cheong, and Ms. Tan Mei Ping. So I'd like to take this opportunity to invite association leaders, executives, staff, to join us as MSAE members. As you are all aware, as we are all aware, members make the association. So for association leaders, we need you to share your experiences, wisdom, guidance with the young ones. And to association staff, join us to learn, share, and network to know that you are not alone. The COVID-19 pandemic, now, what an enormous impact it has made to our lives. It is why today we are meeting like this, virtually. And if we just take time to reflect back, 1 year ago, how unimaginable is this world we live in today? Indeed, the challenges are so far-reaching. You don't need me to tell you this. We are all living through this every day now. We start with ourselves, our families, our work, in our country. Everything has taken a very dramatic turn. But we have to adapt and we have to change. And this same goes with how our associations will have to adapt and change. COVID-19 and the Director General, Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham, both synonymous to the pandemic for us. And now every day we see and hear from our dear DG in the media. So let me draw some parallels on the new normal from DG's daily press conferences with what we have for you today in our webinar. The new normal. Avoid 3 Cs, amalkan 3 Ws, face masks, check-ins, temperature checks, social distancing. We have no choice but to adapt to these forced changes. This is the way. Angeline will share with us how KL Convention Centre has to adapt to this new norm. PPEs, work from home, virtual meetings and conferences. Edward will tell us more about MySAP and how they will be supporting us, associations, in new ways. He will talk to us about business event opportunities in Malaysia. And Dr. Lydia, our Vice President, she will share the results of the MSAE survey, which was done in August. Like our daily COVID-19 statistics shared by KKM, the survey will provide us an overview and also details into how associations are currently doing. And at this juncture, I must thank all the survey respondents for your replies in our data collection. And to round things up, in typical Malaysian fashion, we will have a teh tarik session in the Q&A session with our speakers at the end. Please join in and also join us as MSAE members if you haven't already. Thank you very much. Let's have a good session. Angeline, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sunny. We are positive that today's session is going to encourage many association executives to join MSAE, and as industry that we continue to work together to establish business continuity for business events. I would like to now move on to share with you what the Centre has been doing with regard to adaptation in the new normal. We are so delighted to be able to be sitting in the studio today and to share this information with you. So our primary focus, once we started to adapt with the situation with the COVID pandemic, was to really focus on continued collaboration with industry and our stakeholders in the development of industry SOPs. And these SOPs continue to evolve, and we work collaboratively to ensure we are making compliance necessary and that we entail all the necessary requirements. We are focusing on lobbying and advocacy to ensure that we keep business going and that government allows us continue to operate. We got our teams ready, we got our venue ready for execution, and that was a big planning process. And of course, the first thing we had to do was ensure that once our SOPs were in place, there would be adherence by industry and compliance throughout the industry supply chain. Of course, the biggest focus was on a very comprehensive safety plan. So the collaboration with the industry supply chain to uphold and adhere to compliance remains absolutely crucial and essential in order for us to survive and to operate. We were involved in a lot of communication and information provision that is very client-specific and organizer and attendee-specific. So we had pre-planning, we had on-site planning, we had during the event planning, and also post-planning. And this helped us to demonstrate to government how we were applying the SOPs in venues and how the industry supply chain was adopting them from planning through to execution and post-event follow-up. Of course, it was crucial that we kept safety as the priority. We also looked at enhanced communication and engagement because the information was changing very quickly and on a daily basis as the situation with COVID has been since March. We actually did a website launch with industry first features, and we created a dedicated COVID-19 information platform. We developed an AI chatbot so we could engage remotely, because it was very important for us to keep in touch with our audiences and to find out what they were thinking about, what their concerns were. We developed interactive plans, and very shortly we will be introducing an interactive virtual tour edition on our website, because it's important for people to be able to do remote site inspections of the venue. A big focus was really to look at what were the needs of the evolving COVID landscape and how we were adapting to the new normal. And this focus was really around skills enhancement and expertise. So our teams were very, very open to cross-skilling and upskilling. We made sure that we could empower our workforce and make sure that we could keep our operations, when allowed, going and efficient and effective. And we also created an idea lab to generate new business models. And this was really a bottom-up approach, with team members actually being innovative and looking at new ways of doing business. So this really was about driving business continuity through creativity and innovation, and also transforming our talent for business sustainability and future leadership. On business sustainability, it was very important for us to remain responsible and to bridge our progressive center to supporting local communities, to protecting our environment, and to prioritize sustainable operations. We were also measuring our social impact generation and ensuring that we remained an operational city infrastructure asset. So we did the food aid program, we continued our recycle programs, and we made sure that we had consistent application to proper management of our environmental operations. Well, we would never have progress to the point we are today without our industry partnerships. It was absolutely essential for our industry supply chain to work together, and there was a great sense of camaraderie, and everybody was keen to ensure that we could help each other for business survival. So we looked at initiatives to lobby government on with regard to job retention, with regard to costs and utilities. We also joined with local partners through live aid performances, and we used these events to demonstrate how we could effectively apply our SOPs for our industry. We wanted to ensure that we got the message through to communities and to government that business events operate in a safe, organized, and regulated environment. Well, of course, we had to survive and events were not happening. So we looked very closely at new business models. And this was, like we said, transforming our talent for business sustainability. So we expanded our culinary offerings in the food court, in the center. We also started to rely on our distinctive culinary reputation and diversify our offerings to be more accessible to the whole community. And we also started to equip our team members with the right skills to provide support services and also to manage our food sourcing responsibly. Of course, the big change for everyone has been the adaptation to virtual and hybrid platforms. And this has been a learning experience. Today, we sit in front of you all doing our broadcast for the first time. So it is exciting, and we're learning as we go. So our intention is really to connect you to the world through the convention center. So we have actually combined and integrated traditional event formats and in-person events to broaden our portfolio and to incorporate being a virtual service provider. We can guide you and use our expertise and knowledge to help you select the best event solution to meet your business objectives, and of course ensure that we have subject matter experts to guide you along and to maintain a flexible mindset, and that we continue adaptive, progressive technology adoption. So we have powerful offerings that are all coming together, and there are very, very important aspects that can differentiate a venue, that can ensure that clients feel a sense of comfort because it is a new journey that they are traveling as well. So it is important to have an experienced and qualified team, to have dedicated bandwidth, to have uninterrupted power supply, and also to ensure that there is a perfect brand match. It is very important for many companies to ensure that they are still elevating their market presence. We offer one-stop solutions. We are your partner, not your supplier. And we want to ensure that we can convey trust and assurance. But most importantly is that everything in the operating environment has to ensure strict compliance with SOPs. So there's more that we can do for you. We can offer production, we can offer graphics, audio and lighting, video playbacks, live stream, value add-ons, broadcasting. These are all the aspects that are required to actually deliver the e-solutions that our clients are looking for. We have established virtual platforms which are highly interactive, and they integrate live streaming and video hosting tools such as Zoom, YouTube, etc. We're equipped with global advanced registration systems that provide easy access for attendees and systematic registration. And for all of this, we are providing pricing on request, as these are dependent on needs and customization. Our hybrid studio, full production service, flexible space, large hybrid events, complete with stage, can be conducted. We have a certified technical and production team and very affordable pricing. And of course, we are now in the virtual studio, which is a purpose-built green screen stage, studio quality green screen with P2 LED screen, learning all the vernacular, as you can see, certified technical and production team, complete production service, and also very affordable pricing. We want to hold our clients' hands and take them on this journey together. So thank you very much for your time and for listening to our presentation. We will now move on to Edward. So I would like to introduce Mr. Edward Lim, the Sales Manager of the Convention and Exhibition Bureau, and his focus, of course, is on the International Association market, and he's going to be talking to us today about the wonderful program that has been launched by MSAE called Meet in Malaysia. Over to you, Edward.
Thank you, Angeline and Tim, for giving this opportunity to present about business event opportunity and what we have to offer. Hello and a good morning to members of MSAE and all participants that join us virtually at KLCC. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today for the MSAE webinar, it's a great platform to interact with association members. Let me start with a quick introduction about MySAP. MySAP is a company limited by guarantee and a non-profit organization established under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Malaysia. Our role is to profile and position Malaysia as a business event destination. Without a doubt, this year has been a very challenging year for every country being affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, especially industry partners who are involved in the tourism sector. However, Malaysia is proud to announce several accomplishments, securing more than 1,255 events between the year 2010 and 2019, and delivering an estimated impact of some 10.46 billion. Malaysia is on track to drive positive momentum for the business event industry. Moving forward, with the support from the industry, Malaysia has also successfully supported 2,608 events, which translated to 16.56 billion estimated economic impact from the year 2010 up to the year 2019. Next year onwards, we will gear up and prepare our industry to welcome another 93 secure business events with 197,199 delegates coming to Malaysia. As one of the sales staff in MySAP, we will continue to work with more associations to bring flagship meetings to Malaysia. Besides the economic value, we hope the secure events will help you to achieve your organization goal as well. MySAP have an association development program. The objective of the program is to support the development of Malaysian national associations and their potentials for hosting international convention in Malaysia. Regardless of the topic, we encourage more local associations to expand its network to be affiliated with international organizations. This will increase our opportunity to bid for more international events and shows our flag at an international forum. Through hosting international conventions, Malaysia benefit from showcasing our local innovations and expertise to the world, knowledge sharing, building the international networks and business prospects. This in turn provide professional development opportunity for Malaysians, as well as create longer term legacy for the country. MySAP serves as a one-stop center for conference organizer. Our complimentary service and support will take you from the moment the bid project kickstart until the end of the conference, delivered in Malaysia. We have designed a few support programs to cater to the needs of the organizer, including Malaysia associations to receive support from MySAP at the bidding stage. The event support program will ensure you in delivering a successful conference in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, MySAP has also now been tasked to look into promoting business events domestically. The Meet in Malaysia campaign has been launched to encourage Malaysia, our corporate sector, to look at organizing their events in our country to help stimulate various economic sectors. There are two components to the Meet in Malaysia campaign, which are Let's Meet Locally and Let's Meet Tomorrow. The objective is to help the local business kickstart business event industry by providing support for local events. Among the objectives are support Malaysia, homegrown domestic business event industry players, encourage hosting of inaugural homegrown events, create sustainable homegrown national and international events, boost the economy of the domestic business event industry, inspire local organizers to continue planning for international audience, foster collaborative industry relations to develop a competitive offering. There are two support packages under the Meet in Malaysia campaign, which Let's Meet locally and Let's Meet tomorrow, as I mentioned just now. Both support package cater three areas for both components, which include corporate meetings, incentive, convention, and trade exhibitions. Meet in Malaysia, Let's Meet locally targeted at supporting domestic and national meetings, incentive, conference, and exhibitions. For corporate meeting and incentive, support qualifying criteria start from as low as a minimum of 30 local participants per event, with a 2-night stay at local hotel and 2 full-day meetings. Support range from one hosted city tour for group size of 30 to 59 participants, or one hosted dinner for a group size of 60 to 149 participants, or 1-day hosted full-day meeting package for group size from 150 to 250 participants. For conventions, support will be provided for 50 and 250 participants per event with 2 full days meetings. The subsidy will be provided for venue hire or F&B or even travel costs for invited speaker. For trade exhibitions, support will be provided for show with a minimum of 800 trade exhibitors and a minimum of 1,500 square meter gross space usage with 2 full days exhibitions. The subsidies will be provided for hall rental, 1 full days tour, culture performance, and VIP souvenir. As for the Let's Meet tomorrow, we are targeting to support regional and international meeting, incentive, and convention exhibitions. For corporate meeting and incentive, and as well as convention, support qualifying criteria start from as low as a minimum of 120 participants with at least 10% foreign participants per event with a 2 full days meeting. Support given will be a 1 full days meeting package. As for trade exhibitions, support will be provided for shows starting from a minimum of 1,000 trade exhibitors with at least 10% international visitors and a minimum of 1,500 square meter gross space usage with 2 full days exhibitions. Subsidy for hall rental, accommodation for hosted buyers, marketing, and on-site support will be also provided. Since we launched the Meet in Malaysia campaign, MySAP has secured 95 industry partners to join us to support our Meet in Malaysia campaign. It consists of 71 hotels, 12 purpose-built convention centers, and 12 restaurant and other service providers, including our national airlines. And since we have received up to date, we have 19 event lineups until the end of 2021 and under the Meet in Malaysia campaign support, and we hope to receive more application from you all. Okay. With a strong leadership of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Malaysia, the Bureau collaborates with Malaysian Association and industry partners to secure more business events in Malaysia. Before I end the presentation, I would like to show you a promotional video we prepared in promoting a safe meeting in Malaysia. It could be used for your event as well as a promotion.
We're all familiar with the greeting Selamat Datang, and today it means so much more because we literally mean the safe in Selamat. From intimate studios to world-class convention centers, with globally recognized capabilities and infrastructure, as well as excellent service standards. Malaysia's extraordinary measures in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic has proved effective and is acknowledged as one of the best in the world. You will have a safe welcome because safety is a priority for our meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. We observe international health and safety protocols to ensure the health and well-being of all delegates and guests. As Malaysians living in the new normal of today, we heed the call of our fellow compatriots to come together in support of local businesses to revive our economy. Tourist hotspots and popular sightseeing locations take special measures to ensure the health and safety of visitors. No matter where you travel in Malaysia, whether from Kuala Lumpur to Malacca, and Johor, or to Penang, and Langkawi, or even across to Sabah and Sarawak. When you are welcomed with greetings of Selamat Datang, rest assured that it is selamat and safe to meet in Malaysia.
So, when you're ready for your meetings and incentives, conventions or exhibitions, we are ready to welcome you and your delegates. Come to enjoy Malaysia's world-class facilities seamlessly blended with our traditional hospitality to make you feel safe and comfortable. Selamat datang and let's meet in Malaysia.
So for more details of Meet in Malaysia campaign, you can visit our website. And with that, I would like to end my sessions with a big thank you to everyone for making this possible. Let's meet in Malaysia, be greater together. Thank you. Over to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Edward. Malaysia Boleh, that was a very inspiring video, and what a fantastic program to help the continuity of business events in Malaysia. I'd like to also just mention that this webinar today would not be possible with all our industry partners, and in particular, we would like to thank the Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, who are actually the sponsor of the MSAE webinar today. So it is without further ado that it is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lydia Latif, MSAE Vice President, to share her insights on the MSAE survey. Over to you, Dr. Lydia.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. Thank you for the kind introduction, Angie. Today, I'll be sharing with you the findings of the survey on the impact of COVID-19 to association in Malaysia. I would like to thank everyone again who have submitted the response, and also for those who are tuning in with us today from this virtual studio in KL Convention Center. So this is a familiar sight since March this year when WHO declared the pandemic and we had our first lockdown, and it is indeed unprecedented and extraordinary. We have to keep social distancing, limit physical contact, and avoid large crowds and gathering. So it is a challenging situation indeed. This survey is an initiative by Malaysian Society of Association Executive because we know that the pandemic will have economic and social impact. Hence, we needed data to work on. To the best of my knowledge, there is no other similar survey to date in Malaysia, but there is a regional one done by our Australian partner. This survey is divided into 3 parts. The first one is basic questions about the association. Second is the impact of COVID-19 to the association activities. And lastly, we want to know how association actually adopted the new normal. So this will help us in our advocating and advisory role. I will also share a few highlights from the Australian survey in this presentation. Okay, so back to the survey. First, we look at the survey respondent. The survey was conducted for about 3 weeks in August this year. A total of 142 individuals representing 108 associations participated, representing various sectors. A majority, about 65%, are professional associations, with only 10% representing trade and business industry. As for the size of the association, based on the membership number, 54% membership between 50 to 500, and 36% of the association had above 500 members. So this association, when we look at how the association are being managed, this association are being managed either by their own secretariat with dedicated paid staff, or run by volunteers who are mainly the office bearer. Okay, so they either run from their own office or their rented office, or majority would actually run from the council members' offices. Okay, so now we look at the impact of COVID-19 on association activities. So this is a notice from Archidec. And this kind of notice is quite common nowadays, informing cancellation, postponement, change to virtual. So for information on events in Malaysia, please visit MySAP website, because they have comprehensive list of updated events. So coming back to the impact, from this data, it is pretty apparent that most association activities are significantly affected. So this is represented by the green and turquoise boxes. And these activities include engagement with various parties, committee and council meeting, as well as media campaign. So considering this current situation, this is to be expected. So this result is an extension of the earlier result. It shows the revenue activities such as fundraising, conferences, and exhibition, which are also significantly impacted. Amongst these activities, courses and seminars were the most that proceeded online. So again, this is anticipated, and in my opinion, on short term, this is acceptable, but long term, this will have a huge impact, especially for association revenues, member recruitments, business opportunities, sponsorship, and so on. So this was an event that our association co-hosted, Malaysian Stroke Conference Virtual 2020. It proceeded as a complete 100% virtual. I would have to say that it was quite successful. We had 9,000 delegates registered, and we made the content available for about a month, and we actually gained good traction from this event. So next, we look at the impact of membership to association. So due to the pandemic, the association foresee less than 10% attrition in membership. So this is quite comforting, even though some still felt that it is too early to estimate. So I would have to say that the impact on membership attrition is not too significant from this survey. The expected impact of COVID-19 on membership collection, association foresee revenue to be maximum about 50%. So we know that in this challenging time, it has affected a lot of people's income and livelihood. Nevertheless, professional members may still maintain as being members, because being a member in an association can be looked as an investment for one career progression. It will be quite interesting if we can actually do a post hoc analysis to see the type of association and the attrition rate of membership. Now we look at how association adopted to the new normal. Glad to say that 69% responded positively and adopted quickly. So association in Malaysia is quite resilient. Only about 29% partially adopted to the new normal. So thanks to the advanced technology, most activities were done virtually. Some even responded that they had higher attendance to the event compared to face-to-face meeting. So now we look at what do they use the virtual platform for. So this data showed that most activities have moved to virtual. All right. So committee and council meetings, almost 100% move virtually. So this is again another common site, Zoom meeting. I think we never had enough of it. It can be quite daunting actually, especially when we are connected globally in different time zone. So this was my Zoom meeting at 5 a.m. So definitely not in the video mode, but it is quite engaging because we have many people from across the world. So lastly, we look at the impact on association organization. A lot of organizations are forced to work from home as a preventive measure in this pandemic. So we explored work from home culture after the movement control order is lifted. We had more or less neutral response. All right. So we had yes, work from home to continue. No, they will still opt to adopt flexible hours, and another quarter responded with no, they will actually retain a normal hours. So it's quite a neutral response, whether or not they will continue to work from home following the pandemic. Lastly, we look at the attrition. We look at the expected staff retention. It appears somehow positive as well, which is again quite comforting because 57% reported that they will actually retain 100% of their staff. The remaining has other options such as practicing pay cuts. It's still early to say, depends on funding and looking at getting part-time. So we also had free text answers on what opportunities association foresee in the new normal. So these are some of their responses. They would like to engage with more members and public using the virtual platform. They are not too sure. They would want to get more participants when using the virtual platform. A lot of people recognize that virtual platform can be cost effective unless you use state-of-art facilities. And some also said that they are thinking of more events in the future when using the virtual platform. Then we asked them how a pandemic has impacted association, either positively or negatively. So for the positive impact, it increased participation using a virtual platform. For meetings and seminars, they're able to engage with more members using virtual platform, and they also commented that a lower cost using the virtual platform. As for the negative impact, of course, all the postponement and cancellation of events, loss of income, revenues, cash flows for the association, and the limitation of engagement with members and delegates. I think in this third wave that we didn't expect, we realized also that virtual is not all the solution because we still need the face-to-face connection. So, since the future is still uncertain as how long this situation will last, hopefully soon, we're waiting for the vaccine, of course, or something else, a miracle, because COVID has overstayed. So, in conclusion, association has adopted the new normal because majority of association in Malaysia is quite resilient and they have adopted mainly a virtual platform. Association activities significantly has been affected with engagements and events. Organization of associations. Good to know that they don't plan any retrenchment, but like I said, we don't expect the third wave. Membership, not significantly affected. They are looking at maximum of 50% membership revenue. There's a mistake there, with less than 10% attrition rate. And overall revenue stream for association is definitely affected. Okay, so now I would like to share some highlight of the Australian survey. So we know that some associations are quite resilient, they adapt quickly, and some are not too quick to respond. So based on the findings from our Australian partner, they observe few elements that are key to the success of an association, and this is termed the enablers. So 3 important elements, which is number 1, a skill leadership team. Secondly is staff, volunteers with skill to implement the strategies. And thirdly, a nimble or agile, change resilient organization structure. A skill leadership means the ability for the leadership to understand the situation, respond, and direct the strategy with lots of clarity. So with that success factors, the 3 on the right side of my diagram, we also need to look at some fundamental changes that we can perhaps improve. The first one, membership mode. The second one, to look into event program, which is sustainable. We need to look at our staffing framework. We need to look at advocacy approaches. And we also need to diversify our revenue stream. So associations around the world are implementing many innovations to adapt to the new operating landscape. I think we all can relate to this, because over the last couple of months, we are forced to do things that we never have imagined ourselves doing, even in the next few years. So lastly, this is my final slide, what we can consider to assist in producing innovative ideas. Firstly, we need a skill, a board, and senior leadership team. We need better governance practice. We need a nimble and adaptive decision-making. We need enhanced reporting structure to make it clear for everyone. We need a better crisis planning and preparedness. We need to diversify revenue stream. We need to always put away reserve for rainy days. We need to look into considering a modern membership structure. Definitely, we need to diversify our event portfolio. We need a more effective work-from-home processes. We need to improve our internal communication processes and system. We need to invest in technological solutions, like being in KLCC virtual studio for the first time. I think it's fantastic. We need to upskill our staff around technology. We need to collaborate, advocacy approach. We need to better collaborate with other associations, such as joining Malaysian Society of Association Executive, and also attending webinars as such. We need to be proactive in engagement and communication. We need to hold larger stocks of mission like PPEs. And last but not least, we need to act now and not procrastinate. So before I end, just to lighten up this session, sharing a snapshot of our association WhatsApp MARP. One of our members were attending conferences in Hong Kong virtually. I think most people do miss traveling. I think I miss traveling to see my family in Singapore. So I would have to say that this is actually a conference in Hong Kong. It is a fantastic interface. If any of you may have come across this sort of events, just bear with me. So you actually feel that you are there, because they have got the lecture room, the exhibition booth. So let me just get into the video. Hold on. Okay. So you feel as if you are in Hong Kong. All right, so you actually enter the exhibition hall. I need to learn how to do print screen. Okay, so you get to see the booth. You can actually engage with the booth. You can choose other booth. And if you're bored, you can go back to the e-poster area. So they have got the options of PDF and video. So I think this is quite interesting and surreal. So we need to be able to learn how to monetize because they have no shots of sponsorship, even though it's a virtual event. So before I end, I would like to encourage all members to join Malaysian Society of Association Executive because I've learned so much ever since I joined this. And thank you again for your kind attention and time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lydia. That was so informative and so many valuable insights. And it's very timely too. I think it will assist many associations as they move forward to engage with their stakeholders and their member communities. So we're also very happy now to open up for questions, and we really would love to hear what you think, how you have found the information shared with us today. We really would appreciate your input. And I have to say, our panel speakers have been excellent on their timing. So we have time for questions. Please feel free to send them in. So we have some coming in already, which is great. I'm going to address the first question to Sunny, the president of MSAE. Sunny, considering how things are moving forward at the moment, how do you see the future and vision for MSA unfolding?
Okay, Angie. I think this, just as what we have heard from Dr. Lydia, in terms of what associations are doing, I think we certainly can adopt the same strategy, which is going virtual. We still want to do engagement. We certainly want more members. And I think going virtually in terms of events, like this is a very good example of how MSAE can still continue to grow. We're a young association, and I think we need such activities. But besides that, I think we also have opportunities to continue to not only engage with members, but we want to engage with other stakeholders. For example, with ROS, with other government agencies, and in order to have a common voice for associations.
Excellent. You mentioned the growth of MSAE, and I'd like to put a question forward to Dr. Lydia that has come in. We know that future leaders, talent development, incorporating the youth into associations is important. Perhaps, Dr. Lydia, you could tell us a little bit about MSA's plans in this regard?
Thank you, Angie. Certainly, we would like to invest in our youth. In MSAE, we have got talent development pillars, whereby we have in place internship programs for our youth. And this internship program is specially designed to give them a first-hand real-life experience for them to relate better in association. And some of the activities that is planned is to expose them early. MSAE can do a roadshow, either virtually or on site, to give talks to college and university students, prepare them about working in the association. So these are some of the things that is in the pipeline for the talent pillar in MSAE.
That's great, because we do know that our future industry supply chain relies on the professional development of our young talent. So thank you for that input. Now, Edward, we are seeing so many inquiries coming in about the Meet in Malaysia program. I want to organize events. I want to get in. I want to make sure that I can access the program. Can you just share again with our audience where they can find the information and if there are any particular procedures or processes they need to follow? If you could just update them again and remind them of where they can find more information.
Sure. More information actually on our website, including the criteria and the application form as well. So you can, each segment will have their own form. So you just need to download and then put in the details, submit together with the supporting informations, then we'll process within a month or even as fast as 2 weeks. We will be able to give you the answer and the confirmation as well. So for list of participating partners also available on our website. When you click on the participant names, it will link you directly to the respective website, then for you to access the information. So the full complete information is on our MySAP website.
Great. So we've still got a little bit of time. We have 1 or 2 more questions coming in. This one is for Dr. Lydia. Dr. Lydia, people are very inspired by the information you've provided and are interested in how you got involved in a national association.
Okay, so thank you for the question. My involvement started way back in 2010 when we wanted to organize a World Congress in Malaysia. So that's when we got to know MySAP, and that's when my interest in association was being built. And then I realized that it is a very important entity that I can look into. I mean, apart from being a medical doctor, being with other industries, trying to champion association in Malaysia, I think we are contributing to the economy of Malaysia. So hence, from then on, we started to get involved in association management because we were quite a young association. So we have to take leads from bigger association. And I think MySAP has been pivotal in giving us all the support. And hence, my work never stopped with regards to association support. So I would like to actually continue to help a younger youth and other younger young associations so that they can be viable and sustainable.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lydia. That's so encouraging for our young talent, and we really see wonderful opportunities in the future. So I'm now going to turn to Sunny, whose heart is in the right place. He is actually, as we mentioned before, a member and the General Manager of the National Heart Association of Malaysia. So Sunny, is the association planning any meetings coming up soon? And we see that some people are interested in registering for your conference, so you better share some information if you have any for us.
Of course. So National Heart is, I think, in the medical fraternity, we organize one of the bigger medical conferences every year. And unfortunately, the impact of COVID has resulted in 2020 edition being postponed. We had to postpone 2 conferences this year. So next year, 2021, we have plans already to organize our normal conferences. Of course, in a new environment. We were planning to have it here in KLCC. It's going to be in April, 2nd to the 4th. And we've already applied for our Meet Locally program, under the Meet Locally program with MySAP. And glad to say that we've already received the approval for it. So we look forward to our annual conference in April next year.
Great. So I think we're about to wrap up our session, but before I do, I would like to ask our esteemed panel if there was one appeal they would like to make to government and to our stakeholders to keep our business events vibrant and to ensure business continuity. What would you like to share and what appeal would you like to make to government? I'll start with Dr. Lydia.
That's very interesting. I think we should appeal to the government to continue to look at the support that we can get, especially in this challenging time, because a lot of associations would like to move forward, but they may have a lot of restriction. So hence, whatever support that the government can provide, they should continue to do so.
Thank you. Sunny, your closing remark.
With regards to the meetings and conferences, I hope that the government will not be so strict in terms of making limits, giving limits to how many participants and so on. It should really be in a way self-regulated by the venues who already have SOPs in place for events to happen safely. Nobody wants to have cases and so on. So I think the venues are important to ensure SOPs are in place and they can carry out successful and safe meetings. And I think that is really what we would want as conference organizers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sunny. Well, thank you most sincerely, everyone, for participating today. First and foremost, to the Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau for sponsoring the session today, and to our very esteemed panel for sharing such valuable information and insights. To the President and the MSAE Council members, we commend your efforts in advancing professional development and support to national associations in Malaysia, and we wish you continued success and membership growth. We now close our session and thank you all most sincerely for your attendance and participation today. We hope to see you back soon for the next MSAE webinar. Watch the space. Take care, stay safe, and let's continue to work together to ensure business continuity for our industry. Adhere to SOPs, be compliant, and stay safe. Thank you all very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you.